a dynamite artist named Frank Kozak did. He did album art for Queens of the Stone Age and the Melvins and Soundgarden, and he was kind of a pop artist of the highest order. We have an original Kozak at Casa Cox in the dining room, and his wife announced that he died. He's 61 years old. If you were a fan of kind of pop art, Frank Kozak was near the top of that pyramid and had been doing it for a long, long time. Worked very closely with a lot of bands. I think he had like a punk record label for a while and would book shows back in the day. And so he ingratiated himself with a lot of those kinds of bands. He was kind of one of the first guys to do like, now you can't go anywhere without seeing some kind of like art toys. Not just comic book shops, but I mean, you could be walking through a Barnes and Noble and they're going to have like Funko Pops and things like that. Frank Kozak was kind of one of the first guys to usher in that age of pop art toys, but was a very highly regarded artist for a lot of people. Frank Kozak died. So, again, probably somebody that maybe not a lot of people are familiar with. If you weren't into bands like Queens of the Stone Age, a little band called Nirvana. He worked with them. But he was part of Kid Robot for a while. And so I have to imagine that the piece that we have just jumped in value. Not that we're going to sell it because we like it. But sadly, he never got to work with Dolly Parton, who, of course, announced her rock album. You know who this is, Cody?
Sorry, I was on the phone.
That's okay. Oh, he was talking to a caller. He's not going to know who it is. You ever heard of the Melvins?
No.
All right. I think they're coming pretty soon. You and I can go. We'll go see the Melvins.
You're inviting me on a date?
Why do you got to do that? Why, you know what I mean?
You're within his height range that he likes.
I really am. I'm not too tall for him.
No, that height range only exists for bottoms, and I don't take Alan as a bottom. He wouldn't be a bottom.
No, top all day, homie.
Yeah, I was gonna say tops. I don't care how tall they are because it's me who. Yeah.
It's you. You're the problem.
You do the climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, all I need is some big comfy pillows. The big long body pillows. I could just fold them up, and I could just.
That's what he calls them, big comfy pillows.
Yeah, I just lay on.
He's climbing a human ladder. Who plays for the NBA or something? Melvins were at the Grog Shop last September, I'm being told. Okay. Well, I missed Buzzo then, but I won't next time. They were doing, last time they were out with Ministry, I think. So maybe that's the one I missed. Anywho, whatever. R.I.P. Frank Kozak. So Bill sent me this video of it because we were talking about this a couple of days ago about a guy microwaving a steak.
And then
this made you mad, or I
was all excited about
it. You were becoming
but
team microwave steak. I thought.
I thought I was, but then I went to the comments and it was an April Fool's joke.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Well, all I could think was there's no chef or cook in good standing who would ever, even if you could do it, who would suggest that you do it.
Right.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Do you want me to show this to people? I mean, was he faking it?
Yeah, he was faking.
Oh, he was faking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right as soon as I emailed it to you, I was like, I should have went in the comments, seen what's going on here, but it was an April Fool's joke. So it's not even worth watching because it's fake.
It is dated April 1.
Yeah. Well, it was just someone sent it to me.
Yeah.
And I was all excited because I was like, ooh, maybe this cooking steak in the microwave thing is viable, but it is not yet. Now, if you get on my cooking show where you have to cook everything in the microwave, maybe you'll figure out a way, but
microwave.
Yeah.
Well, all I could think was watching this was just throw it in a pan. If you're trying to, you got it, because he goes, you got it cooked, and now you sear it, do it for this, you set it on popcorn, look at that sear.
But the whole idea is to do it all in a microwave.
Right, but yeah, again, you would do that only to prove that you could.
Right.
Not that it would be like a superior way to do it.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see somebody figure out a way to make a good steak in a microwave. And I just don't think.
Maybe somebody will send you some legit.
Ever seen. We start by putting our raw steak onto a glass plate. We're gonna put this in the microwave, and I know that sounds crazy, but trust me. The first step is we have to put it on the defrost setting. We're gonna choose meats, and I'm gonna click start. All right, now come take a look at this. So if you look inside here, now this steak is actually fully cooked at this point, but it looks absolutely disgusting. So I'm gonna show you how to sear this, yes, in the microwave. The trick to searing it in the microwave is to actually use the popcorn setting. It has extremely high bursts of heat, and that's what's gonna give us that nice crust. Don't let it go for more than 30 to 35 seconds. So
Is this guy a comedian or a chef?
I think he's a chef.
Okay. Can you hear that?
I can't hear it anymore.
No, you can't hear it in your headphones?
Like slightly.
Yeah. It's not supposed to happen in here. We're gonna
Okay.
get somebody on that. Because I don't know if the audience can hear it too. When I have something all the way down, if
Yeah.
you can still hear it, that's not the way
Like
that's
a-
supposed to be.
Right.
Okay, so that was a April Fool's prank then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks a lot, April 1st.
Yeah, we were all excited. Nothing to be excited about.
Yeah. Alan, you'd be a power top, a texter says. You know, I've heard the phrase power top.
I've heard power bottom. I feel like all tops should be power tops.
I don't know.
You know what, Bill? I agree. It's all about
What are
vigor.
you doing? Yeah. If you're on top and you're not bringing power? Then,
Right,
like,
you're-
you can't-
that's
what,
where
you be a soft
Well,
top. Like,
that's where you're supposed to be bringing all of your
Yeah,
energy.
I don't think there should be a power top. There should be power verse, which is me, and then power bottom. But I
a
think,
power bottom just means that you can take it.
well, power bottoms are control freaks. Like they want to take it, but they want to take it their way. They're like, ah. You know?
I'm going to
push
defer
back.
to him. Yeah.
Stop pushing. I'm pushing back.
Stop pushing.
I'll do the pushing.
I
I
just
wanna
want
thrust.
you to stand there. Yeah, it's
yeah.
like the old joke about the farmer with his sheep on the edge of a cliff, so it pushes back.
Yeah, they're power bottoms are just control freaks. That's all that is. That's how
Wow.
you think about it.
What a way to take control, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to need you to do something first, and then I'll take over.
I just need you. You're just a pole, sir.
Well, listen, it's all consensual.
Hey, yeah, no.
Good for you. You might not pay that close attention. I certainly know that I don't. You might not pay that close attention to international skirmishes. You might have seen a few headlines about what's going on in the Sudan. But if you're like me, regrettably, you go, the Sudan? I gotta mow the lawn. I can't be reading about the Sudan. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. There are two generals in the Sudan that are fighting. And this could affect your pop.
Ooh.
Because the Sudan is a major, major exporter of something called gum arabic, which is a vital ingredient in everything from soda to chewing gum.
Thought that was a Mars Volta album.
From soda to chewing gum?
No, gum Arabic.
Oh, gum arabic. And they produce 70% of the world's supply, probably closer to 80. And so this fighting in the Sudan is really going to potentially impact companies like Coke and Pepsi because they need this stuff. It's a binding property, which I guess that explains why you need it in gum. I guess I don't understand how they make pop, but that was just sugar, water, and caramel coloring. Maybe that's part of it. It's used in M&Ms. It's used in gum. It's used in cosmetics. It's used in pharmaceuticals. And this is when, it would be one thing if there was no financial aspect to this. But when you read something like this, you're like, oh, you're going to have the CEO of Coke flying in there and trying to broker a deal between these Sudanese generals who are fighting over something that has nothing to do with, I don't know what they're fighting over, but obviously it's a big deal because before this article, all of them have been about how it's a humanitarian catastrophe. There's like hundreds of thousands of people fleeing the Sudan to get out. They're like going to other neighboring countries because of this fighting, this civil war. And there's 45 million people in the Sudan, and about a third of them are trying to get out. So that's the humanitarian part of it. But as you know, people don't usually care about the humanitarian part of it. They care when it turns out that it might affect their Coke or Pepsi. And they cannot make what they make without this product. And you have to imagine the people who are in charge of these things, like, hey, I don't care what they do there. We just need this stuff flying out of the country, right? These like bloodless corporate meetings that they have to have. They said that most of these companies maybe have a 6-month supply on hand because it's not like the Sudan is ever a fully stable place. There's always something a little hinky going on. But imagine that. Imagine if a war, civil war halfway around the world,
Messed up all our pop.
messed up our pop and our gum. I like gum. I'm a gum chewer. What do I got to start pulling bark off trees? Like Zach Whitecloud on the Vegas Knights? Pulling bark off trees? Going old school?
Maybe if the Sudan went by Sudaniel, people would take it more serious.
Now you just reminded me of Imagine Dragons, and I don't want to start thinking about them again.
That's on you.
I know. It's on me. A sign of how vital this thing is, when the U.S. imposed sanctions on the Sudan in the 1990s, they carved out a loophole for gum Arabic. Oh, listen, we need to get this stuff out. These are multi-billion-dollar corporations.
Yeah,
and
they're going to get this figured out. This war is going to be figured out like that if it messes up the third quarter profits of these companies. They're like, hey, we need a strong fall here.
Yeah. Guys, they're just not buying as much Winto Green Orbit as they used to.
Well, we just made the switch to Starry, and we need to make sure we can keep pumping it out.
What is that, by the way? All
Starry's
of a sudden,
the new Sierra
Starry's
Mist.
everywhere. What?
It's the new Sierra Mist.
What was the old Sierra Mist?
Sierra Mist.
Oh, that makes sense.
They got rid of Sierra Mist, and now it's Starry.
That's a Coke or a Pepsi product?
I believe that's a Pepsi.
Just
I
out of
think
nowhere,
Coke is a Sprite.
I see end caps stacked with Starry.
Well,
I thought it was a knockoff. I thought it was a
That's what everybody
knockoff.
thought, because it looks like the design on it and everything looks total knockoff. Like it looks like a straight up like Faygo wannabe.
Yeah, it's like a clip art can or something. Distributed by PepsiCo. Okay. January 2023. Aimed at competing against Sprite and 7-Up, which is owned by Dr. Pepper. Okay. Yeah, out of nowhere, I just see this. I go, I don't know what that is. It looks fake. I haven't seen commercials for it.
They're starting to show up.
Are they?
I've
Okay.
seen some during the playoffs, watching NBA games. There's some Starry commercials and some like pre-roll ads, but
it's a weird
they're
name.
out there. It is weird. Not what I would go.
I mean, Sierra Mist was a dopey name too, but at least you could kind of envision something in your head.
Well, what was Sierra Mist before it was Sierra Mist? It was Slice?
Slice, yes.
Yeah, bring back Slice. I loved Slice, especially an orange slice.
Loved Orange Slice.
Orange Slice was great.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Once in a while. I mean, they
young.
discontinued it like 20 years ago, I think.
Okay.
But they had Tropicana Slice for a hot minute. Yeah, that Orange Slice, boy.
That Orange Slice was good.
You'd find it in like an old vending machine every
That's
so often.
always where I would get it from this grocery
dusty
store that was
old-
by our house that ended up becoming, like, it's such an old grocery store that they turned it into an antique mall.
Yep.
Like, but that was the only place
Still have Orange Slice.
where you could get Orange Slice when I was a kid.
I was the Surge generation.
Surge was great too.
Surge and Jasta.
Why did they discontinue that? Because they said it was so many calories. I was like, that can't be. I
I thought it was like a high caffeine content.
I would say that people have unhealthy drinks all the time. Like, they weren't marketing it as an energy drink, but so what? They could have just, did it change names or they discontinued it altogether?
I just think it never did as well as they thought it was.
No, they brought Surge back
They brought
like
it
a
back,
year
and
ago,
then
I think.
Yeah, but they're not keeping it around. It's still not doing
Because that was
mellow, not mellow yellow, but Mountain Dew numbers.
can you still buy crunk juice? Because that was the thing when I... No,
Crunk
I'm
juice.
serious. Oh, my God. When you got crunk juice on the bus, that was like our go-to. We would go to Mizler's grocery store, which isn't even there. It was in Oberlin, on the main road there. I think it's Ace Hardware now. But we would go to Mizler's grocery store. In the back corner, they would have all the, like, wrap snacks and, like, all the... I feel like that was like segregation because it was like the black section. It would have all the like the cheap snacks, the wrap snacks, and then the Surge was in the cooler, or not. I'm sorry, the crunk juice. And boy, we would load up on that, and we would be all the rage on the school bus the next morning.
Crunk juice.
Crunk
Jesus.
juice. Yeah, man. It was an energy drink before energy drinks were cool.
Yeah, it was Hennessy and Red Bull.
It was not. No, they had a pop version.
I know, but the mixed drink was Hennessy and Red Bull.
Okay.
And then they just probably figured, well, let's can this and foist it on people. But
Yeah.
the crunk juice was...
The Lil Jon crunk juice in stores. Oh, and it was really good, too.
Didn't Surge have like a music festival 20 years ago? Or was that not attached to the soda? There was a thing called the Surge Festival. I remember it coming through Pittsburgh when I was there, and I thought that was like their big marketing push was they had bands that would tour with the Surge banners and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they brought it back, and then I think it went away again, too. Because for a while, you'd end up seeing it at like the Circle K or whatever. Because they were like, this is more hardcore than your other sodies. By the way, if you get to it, we're doing a bunch of Circle K appearances with Cardboard Alan for Mountain Dew Purple Thunder, which is a delicious beverage. So if you get to see the Cardboard Alan, make sure you find that there's a QR code on my palm, and you're going to want to scan that because we're giving away Purple Thunder for a year to somebody. That is 365 days. Imagine if you win in a leap year. Isn't next year a leap year? 2024?
I think so.
We talked about that, I think. There's going to be a February 29th. Yeah, Thursday, February 29th. You get an extra day of Purple Thunder. Like in Norway, Surge was called Urge. They just took the S off. What should we call this? We don't have the money for the S. Let's